Alright, so welcome back everybody. This is Mr. New Vegas here, and we are back with FTB Continuum. Modded Minecraft, all that stuff. So, just modded Minecraft. So, as you can see, our friends left us. Left me with a freaking mess to clean up. Left all this crap. I kind of see where they went though, so that's pretty cool. It seems that the way they're heading is probably to that other village, because past that slime island, I think somewhere over there is the first village I found. That's pretty cool. They're traveling around just like they said. So, like I said before, last episode, okay, if you really want to know something about me, I am never happy. Now, what do I mean by that? I don't mean that I'm conceited or not conceited, a depressed person or anything, no. So, I'm just never happy with what my setup is in Minecraft. I always end up changing things around. I honestly try to make things better looking. I like to make things look kind of pretty in a way, or at least good looking. I don't want like wires going around everywhere making things look ugly. I don't like it. So eventually I'm going to move all these. I like the water wheel idea of it just looking aesthetically pleasing, but it's for power at the moment. So, what's happened? Well, I'll show you. So, today hopefully we're going to get through a couple of quests. A few that are kind of major, the rest not really. And I'm not going to lie. I went through some of the recipes. Oh my goodness gracious. It's terrible. It is terrible. So, I guess let's go with the big change. Okay? We're all going to see it. Some of you already probably seen it. I moved the blast furnace and the conveyor belt compressor thing. I moved them. Now I'll get to that in a second. I know there's random blocks, I'm going to have to move everything. But then you're also thinking, what's this blue block? I don't think this was in the last episode. I'm pretty sure it wasn't. Rotating elevator. Well, an elevator. I wonder where that leads. This is one of these elevators that it's pretty easy to make. It's literally just whatever type of colored blue wool. I put blue wool, you can put any type of wool. It will come out with whatever color you have. You need 6 wool, 2 iron, and an ender pearl. And you place it. Now you need 2 of these. So you basically need to double the recipe. So 12 wool, 4 iron, and 2 ender pearls. And they do need to be a certain distance away from each other. Now it doesn't mean that, they have to be more than 1 block away, but they can't be more than like, I think it's 15 blocks or so. There's a certain range that you can't go that far. So you go on top of it, shift, and I would use my left shift click, and then you're going to see, wow, this is amazing. That's a little glance. So, over here, as you can see, it's very empty in here. My warehouse is very empty. Now, what does that mean? I moved a lot of stuff. I had all my components and all my machines working over here. Gone. My brewing station, whatnot, is going to stay here. My cafeteria, basically, is going to stay here. But the chickens... Oh, I forgot to move these. The chickens are gone, though. Because... Well, I don't know why the Minecraft sound is still kind of funky at the moment. It just is. So, pretty much, I moved everything. That is what I've done. I moved everything down a floor. That was my project last week. And kind of this week, because I still haven't finished it exactly. So yeah, cafeteria. I did put a cow in a jar, so now I have fresh milk. Pretty easy. You do need to have a glass jar. Very easy for that. Glass jar. If I could find it. I'll just type it in, I guess. What? There we go. Milk jar. So it just needs a bucket of milk, 7 any normal glass, and just a plank, and then you make a milk jar. Then what you need to do is on top of it, you need to place it anywhere, and then you need to get a cow on top of it. So if you could breed a cow, move it, whatever, it doesn't matter. And then you need to drop an anvil. You need to have the cow on top of the jar, have a space above the cow, and then an anvil, place it, it drops down, doesn't kill the cow, it just pops it right into there. As you can see, he's right in there. It's kind of funny. It's cute. It's funny. So there are some things I'm not gonna move. Now, one more thing before we go on. I'm pretty happy with my slime tools. When I go mining and whatnot, I have a lot of slimes that pop up. Well, I got a slime trophy, so that is quite nice indeed. To go along with my zombie, villager, chicken, and now slime. So there are a few things I will say I did not I did not talk about last time. The gold vein. This little thing, it's just a core sample, and it makes like a little stand. When I shift right click it, it shows like, it's like if I mine down in the ground. We do this, you know, IRL. We mine into the ground, and we could pull out different layers going how deep it is underground. So it shows that there's copper, goldish copper, I think nickel, and then oil. So it's just a gold vein basically. And how I did that is you need to make a drill, which is just, it's not a multi-block for immersive engineering. It's just a normal, like a 1x2 block, and you place it in the world, give it some power, and it drills into the ground, and then it gives you that. Now the reason why I needed that is for this pump jack. This pump jack basically, it looks like one of those oil, like if you live in Texas and other places that have these, they pump around and they basically pull out. Well, I could probably show it real quick. They pump underground and they pull out resources such as, well, oil. I think I talked a little bit about it before. I didn't get into depth with it because honestly, I didn't do much with it. At the moment, I don't know why it's not working for me. It has quite a bit of power in it. I have a decent amount of power at the moment, but I'm thinking that this does not pull liquids how it should be with this. Something else. So yeah, if you've ever seen these things where you live, yeah, they're basically just pumping oil out of the ground. So that's pretty much what that is at the moment. So, on to what you all saw. Now I'm eventually going to plug this up because I don't want this here. It's ugly. I don't want it. So, you probably saw a staircase. Well, staircase goes down a couple levels. Boom. Into my little factory area at the moment. So let's see what's here. These chests are not going to be here permanently. They're just ugly because, well, it's just stone and redstone. I mean, not redstone, but red sandstone. So I went ahead and moved the vein, or the void miner down here, because it's easier for me to just put the power in. Here is my power cell, my medium power cell. Down here, just a ladder to go to where the hole is at. Has to go all the way and touch the bedrock. And I just have my whole line of machines. Now, a lot of these are new to you, most likely, and you'll see them in a second. And I moved my EFAB, I put the crusher down here, I went ahead and built some more coke ovens, and these are just liquid translocators. What they do is, well, it'll be in a second, like in a few minutes. These will basically spiral out the creosote oil. Now I know some of you guys are probably thinking, well, it's a waste of creosote oil when I show you trash can for fluids. I don't use a lot of creosote oil. As you see right here, this tank right here, this right here is for creosote oil. That's how much creosote oil I have at the moment. Now, it may not seem a lot to you, but it's a lot. Hundreds of millibuckets, at least. It's a lot. So, basically what ended up happening is I put a stack of coal in each single one. They make the coal coke, which then I use to power, well, whatever I need. These right here, I went ahead and built some more kinetic dynamos. These are cheap power generation that I could just make on the fly. They're pretty easy. I know it looks ugly with the red sandstone. I know the ceiling isn't done. Eventually I want to get that done, but at the moment it's not really doing anything. I have an additional 3 low power cells. These connect to each other. I can make them actually pretty large, and it's quite nice, to be honest. So what ends up happening is, they generate power, they hook into these, power generates into them, boom, power. So I actually want you to see this. This is actually pretty cool. I like this. I like it when it spirals out. So as you can see, like the little rainbow kind of effect as it comes out, That's actually not the creosote oil. The creosote oil looks very different. I love the look of it. I think it's really cool. Blocks, it's a little different, but let's see. There you go. It's like a weird spiral. It's so cool. They're so cool. I love it. Whoever did the animation for that, it's an amazing job. I love that. So, as I was talking about before, here's the improved blast furnaces. They're the improved blast furnace with the preheaters. Pretty much just making me slag and, you know, making me some steel. Now, you may be thinking, well, why do you need so much steel for? Eventually, I'm just going to have to keep it in liquid form because I'm going to need that to make items with the EFAB. I have my entire wire going. I have a lot of peat-fired engines, as you can see. This one has overheated at the moment, that's why it's not running. Now, unfortunately, I am running low on peat. I realized that I've been playing for the last 2 days? Well, not 2 full days, since this is going out today on Friday. Yeah, these have been running basically non-stop, generating me power as much as I can, and it generates me a good amount of power. Like, I'm getting power from these 4 water wheels, plus the additional, one moment, plus the additional 4 to 5 power wheels upstairs, and I also have these 5 culinary generators. Now, I will get to those in a second, of how I create power. But the peat, I have 5 peat generators, but I need to make more peat. So, let's get into some of the bigger upgrades I've done. I went ahead and made storage, the storage scanner from RF Tools with the storage, modular storage. Now, I have these at tier 3 storage, so they hold up to 300 stacks. Now, this is basically if you've messed with the computers from, I always forget the name of it. Let's see. For something, it should pop up. Here we go. From Extra Cells? No. Is it Extra Cells? Applied Energistics 2. Those have really advanced computers. And I've messed with those computers. They take a long time to get the power or the storage, like if you really want some amazing storage. And it's a really cool mod. And we will eventually get into that later on down the road. But right now, we have these. They're pretty good. This is the entire interface. This is everything I basically had in those chests. I still have a buttload of other stuff in those chests, but I just haven't moved them yet. And you can see this green bar indicates if it's almost full. This one is less than this one, and this one is around almost the same as that one, just a little bit more here than there. So you could actually hover above them and it'll say out of, and that's basically the stacks. So out of 300 stacks I have 152 stacks. Out of this one I got 182, and this one 241. So I think it, in a way, it doesn't disperse them equally, but it definitely does disperse them. And I went ahead and made these workshop tables since I looked up some things to be helpful, and those we'll get into a second. So basically, you can upgrade these in different ways, and you can do upgrades. Now these upgrades, they're just furnaces, because as you can see, I already have a buttload of furnaces, because I've been using this crusher like non-stop, just to crush as much stuff as I can, so I could go ahead and get as much, well, to be honest, as much ore and extra stuff I could get. And I'm actually going to see, I heard about a special pick I could make, and I'm going to test it out in a little bit. But as things are getting a little bit winding down, let's go ahead and find loot. There we go. So like I said, we normally open up around 5, but I'm going to get one soon. So let's open up one. These are basically from the quests I've done before, so we'll just be done with those 2 for right now. So not too bad, got some extra wood and whatnot. So, what have I been working on? Well, I've been working on some quests. I recently got the Mix and Match, which is an alloy smelter. Now the alloy smelter little bit different from the alloy smelter I'm used to. It requires 2 electric furnaces, requiring 2 iron furnaces, and it's almost surrounded by refined iron ingot. And basically what it does is it mixes 2 metals into an alloy. Now, why is that good? Well, I will show you. Now, this is basically the recipe I've been making for the past couple days since I made this. I put on the left side a copper ingot, the right side no, that was wrong. The left side an aluminum ingot, and the right side a copper ingot, and it slowly starts going up. Now you're probably thinking, well, what do I need it for? Well, since it's going to take a second, it makes aluminum brass ingot. Now, aluminum brass, if you've watched, I haven't done it. I don't think I'm going to do it, like Blast Off or anything, where you could make steampunky armor and jetpacks and stuff like that. You need aluminum, or you need brass. This is aluminum brass, a little bit different. But the reason why I need so much aluminum brass is if we go to the block itself, is we need it to end up making structure frame tier 2. Numero dos. So, now what do we need that for? Well, in the future, I'm not going to get it done today because it requires quite a few more materials like bath salt, which I do not have. And what that is this void ore miner controller tier 1 will eventually be upgraded to tier 2. Now, why do we want a tier 2 void miner? Because if we make this into the tier 2, that means we get more resources. Because right now at the tier 1 void miner, all we end up getting is coal ore, iron ore, copper ore, tin ore, aluminum ore, and apatite ore. But if we go ahead and do the upgrade to tier 2, we get everything I've listed with the addition of gold ore, silver ore, lead ore, and bauxite ore, which in itself is not that amazing, but it's more resources. And at the moment, I need more resources. So, what else have we gotten? I think I've gotten the grinder before. Let me look at the quest. Also, with the alloy smelter, I have a choice. 16 Invar, 16 Electrum, or 16 Bronze. I'm going to go ahead with the 16 Electrum, because Electrum is always needed. I've also made a chemical reactor. Chemical reactor is needed so that if I wanted to mix and match certain items. Now, the main reason I made it is because I wanted to make an Eye of Ender. I'm trying to think what else. Industrial. Yeah, I think this is what it is. So this is pretty much going to be a big thing. Now, the reason why this is going to be a big one, to me, it's going to be a big one. The industrial electrolyzer takes a certain item, basically dust, and it takes this dust, but it also needs an addition of, let's see if I can remember the name. Alright, good. It does this. Bauxite, which is something we get from a tier 2 void miner, if you place it in here, it takes 12 at a time with the addition of 8 empty cells, which all you need is 4 tin. Now, the bauxite dust, all you need to do is, once you make a crusher, or if you have a quartz grindstone, you get bauxite, which is pretty abundant. And if you put it in the industrial electrizer, it basically kind of dismantles it in a way. Now, why do we want that? Well, if you end up playing this mod pack, you will start to learn why you want it. It gives you 4 items from the 8 empty cells and the 12 bauxite dust. It gives you 8 pulverized aluminum, very nice. It gives you 3 compressed air cells, 5 hydrogen cells, and the big thing of all, the best one, 2 small piles of titanium dust. Now, it says small pile of titanium dust, but we got 2, and then, it's a plural and whatnot. So, why do we want that? Because, let's just say, titanium is something we're going to need a lot of. Just to make the mixed metal ingot, which eventually turns into advanced alloy ingot, that's going to be needed for a few things, not a whole lot. Trying to think of what else. It's basically just something massive that we need, especially once we get to the point of having to go into this one rocket mod, which I personally never have messed around with, but I know that there are certain structures. It's like industrial. Sorry, thought I heard something. It's kind of like, forget the name. I always forget the name of it. Immersive engineering, where it does have multi-block structures. So yeah, let's just say you need a lot of titanium blocks for that. So, getting into it, we're gonna go ahead and just complete some quests right now. We're gonna go ahead and complete Stronger. Now, what Stronger is? The Industrial Blast Furnace is a multi-block machine that smelts the toughest metals like chrome, titanium, and tungsten. So basically, we need an Industrial Blast Furnace. And how you make that is you need 4 cup. English is hard for me, alright? These heating coils. You need 4 of them. And to make 3 of them, you need a rolling machine. And you need 4 nickel ingots and 4 copper ingots. But that only makes 3 and you need 4. So basically just double it. So you have 8 nickel ingots and 8 copper. Then you get 6. Then you also need 2 electric furnaces. Pretty easy to make. Advanced machine frame, which takes a little bit. You need advanced alloy plate, which needs advanced alloy, but you know, even though I said you need titanium to make it, you could also make it with refined iron. It's pretty nice. And 2 advanced electric circuits, which do require reinforced metal, which if you don't have diamonds, like I didn't have diamonds for a while, you need stabilized metal, which requires 5 iron ingots, 3 refined hardener, which is basically a raw hardener after you smelt it. And you need to make the raw hardener, you need 4 diamond nuggets, which you get 9 diamond nuggets from every diamond. Then on top of that, you also need to make the hardened mesh, which requires another 4 refined hardener. So you basically need to break up a lot of diamonds and yeah, make a lot of it. So, and then you also need 34 standard machine casings. Now these machine casings are not that expensive. This is what they cost. 2 electronic circuits, 6 refined iron plates, and a basic machine frame. So basically you just need a lot of refined iron plates. And what do you need from refined iron plates? Sorry if you hear the barking in the background. Is you need a lot of iron. The iron basically makes everything. You need tons of iron. So as you can see, that's 32. Have 1 more. And I basically get 2 titanium dust. So very nice. Or 2 titanium ingots. So I'm gonna go ahead and open up another loot crate because I have tons of them. And I gotta start getting rid of them. So, pretty much once you place the Industrial Blast Furnace, the GUI will have a button that will show you the blueprint for the rest of the multi-block you can make out of any combination of machine casings. So basically there are better versions of the machine casings. You can make them into refined machine casings, and then you can make those into advanced machine casings, and then I'm guessing, yeah, that's it. So let's go ahead and test that out. A lot of these machines I've never messed with. Oh my. It's big. Let's go ahead and do it right here. I'm not gonna do the entire thing because obviously I'm not gonna leave it here. That's what I mean. Because that would be insane if I kept it here. I also gotta make sure to put a torch, because if I don't, oh my, do I not even have enough? I need 2 more. I thought that's what exactly I needed. Well then, I will be back in a second. Alright, welcome back. So, I did not need an extra 2. I went ahead and reread it, but I ended up moving it just over here. So what ended up happening is there's 2 in the middle I don't need to place, but I need lava in the middle. So there we go. And pretty much what this is going to end up doing is I will be able to, the timber is based on the combination, as you get titanium from putting bauxite dust into the industrial electrolyzer. So I think this is the only machine that I can actually use that will generate me, I think, if I'm right, which I may be wrong, this is basically what I need to put the, once I make a titanium dust, I need to put it in this. Yeah, just to be able to, but I need 1500. So that's good. So the only problem is that I've seen is this takes a little bit. Now, while this is going, now you can put upgrades, but the problem is some of these upgrades are expensive. Now, I know I've said this last episode and probably the episode before that. This is an expert pack. Okay? So anybody who's watching this and you're still watching this, just know, yeah, this is not something easy just to pick up if you wanted to pass time and try something. Like, if you're gonna play this, be ready. That's all I can really say. I don't know what really tips I could give you other than, like, be prepared. You know, like the old Dark Souls days. Prepare thy anus. A noose. So, pretty much I'm going to go into the next thing I was going to talk about. Now, you see this room. Took me a while. It was very helpful with the hammer merge. So, I got her to comfortable. Yes, I'm going to call it her, because it sounds like Marge in a way. Marge Simpson from The Simpsons. So, I did this. I did this. I made this. So, so that's pretty much all I've done. I made this area. Now, I'm going to make a new area. Now, this is another elevator, different from the blue one. As you remember, the blue one takes me up to this area outside here. Go down to this area. But what about this one? To another area. Yes, there's coal. Lots of coal. But then there's an orange one, but there's nothing above it. I can't jump. Oh, nothing happens. Oh, another shift click. Ooh, how about this? Very, very interesting. Now, I have not done a lot of this. I'll get to some of these things in a second. Die, spider. Alright, so this is basically going to be kind of like, I had an idea, as you can see with some of the marble. Just think of it as something about like a, forget the name of it, like a hadron accelerator thing, a particle accelerator. So I kind of think about that. If you don't know what that is, if you ever watched that one Terminator movie where like there's a female Terminator, but she like is like made of that special metal alloy stuff, not like that one other Terminator that was like the older ones, basically. Not that old, but she got stuck to like this big circle thing that was pulling the metal kind of like off of her in a way. So pretty much that's what my idea is going to be like. I'm going to have just this outer layer of marble. It's not really a circle, but whatever. And then I'm just going to slowly start doing other colors going to the middle. So I guess kind of like a rainbow in a way. That's what my idea of thinking of it is. Now, probably thinking, what's with the chickens? Now, the good part is you get near them, they're clucking. So, these Yaba barrels. That's weird, it's not going in. Should be going in. Set it up right. Ooh. Well, obviously I got to set these up a little bit different. So, pretty much what these are for are, I'm going to set this up for my culinary generator. Now, obviously, yes, I know, more power generation is very needed in this mod pack. I mean, I got the peat, I got the water wheels, and that's really it. I don't really have that much other power generation other than with the culinary generators. Now the culinary generators I'm thinking about doing, I'm going to make it so then I'm going to send these eggs to go get cooked into boiled eggs, which I need a pot. Now the only problem is, right now I've been going back and forth doing this over and over and over, making the boiled eggs, but I'm going to go ahead and do this in another test world, since I've been testing a few things there. I want to try to use a crafter, whichever one works, and that doesn't use up a lot of power, if not any power. Set it up so a basic design could be like this. I have another ender chest that I made. I do this, and then imagine that this one pipes out the end product of the boiled eggs, pops it into these, and I pretty much have power. That's what I'm thinking. Oh no, I didn't realize it did that. Should have used a silk touch one then. Oh, that's unfortunate. So, but while I've been talking, let's actually see if this is done. Yes, one titanium ingot is now done. Finally. Now, that's pretty much what I was going to get into. I'm going to also go ahead and make the pick right now that I was thinking about. I'm actually going to see if it works. But before I do that, I want to go ahead and take you guys somewhere real quick. This will be just much faster if I come over here. Now, I don't know if maybe somebody can tell me in the comments what this is. I'm going to look it up, but it's kind of hard to describe in a way. So I'm just going to go ahead and come over here. I don't know what this is. I was mining one day. That one day was yesterday. And as I was mining, so there is actually a tunnel underneath me. There is a, not a tunnel, a mine system, right? So I came ahead and I followed it, and you know, trying to find those chests, the special chests, and you know, the chests inside the cart, seeing what I could get, you know, stuff like that, right? Because, well, you know, I want loot. And I found a couple, you know. But then I came across this stuff. You know, I saw the moss stone and I was like, oh, sweet, a dungeon. But then I also saw stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, and cracked stone bricks. Let's see, where did I come from, though? Where did I come from, Cotton Eye Joe? This one isn't it. So I came in here. Here it is, I think. Is it here? Yeah. So I saw it from a distance and I was like, what is this? So I came over and lo and behold, I jump in and these torches were not here. So there were some chests here, there, and on these little pedestal, well, it's a block, but it looks like kind of like a pedestal, the way I think the mod creator was trying to make it, there were skeleton skulls, like normal skeleton skulls, not wither skulls, but plain old skeleton skulls. And there were some spawners, most of them just zombies. One of them was a spider, and the rest zombies, and maybe one skeleton spawner. And I thought, that's so weird. Why is there a spawner in this area? Well, what is this place? And actually, now that I think about it, I haven't even checked inside of these. Sometimes people put cheeky things in these. That's what I could imagine. You know, kind of expect the unexpected in a way. So I don't know if anyone could tell me what this really is supposed to be for. I mean, there's quite a bit of good loot in here, I'm not gonna lie. So it's pretty interesting. So I'm gonna see you all in one moment with that new pick. Alright, hello, welcome back. So I had to go ahead and look it up a little bit more. I had to make sure to find a video with it. I did see this on a Reddit thread. So let's go ahead and see if it works, and it should because I just checked it. Then I went ahead and I watched a video. I watched a video of this one dude, so it works, thank goodness. And he actually had a pretty good, he's a better version of it, copper tool rod for well established. So pretty much what I'm making is this. It is a pickaxe that is made from a copper tool rod for well established, which, okay, in most mod packs they don't really have that many additions with this. You know, they have the haste. I guess I was using older versions of Tinker's Construct, because all these new things they're definitely interesting. Or maybe they just updated it a while back and I just didn't know. So, copper tool rod, well established. And what does that mean? Well established, if I'm right, should be, I get more XP from things I mine. And that's not too bad. But then the next one's pretty good. Well, we'll get to that one last. Cobalt pickaxe with momentum, 780 durability, mining speed cobalt, mining speed 12. And then attack 4.1. The well established gives modifier of 1.05 and durability of 30, and then firewood binding. Durability 150. Now, what these do? Now, the normally I would end up making, instead of a cobalt pickaxe head, I'd make a manilin head, because to me I think that's better. It's faster and whatnot. But actually, in this version, cobalt with momentum means that you're going faster. Well established with extra XP, but okay, see that they furnace and tool for harvested blocks get smelted. Mining blocks increases your speed as long as you keep going, and you gain additional XP. So pretty much all of these do. I have a pickaxe that as long as I keep mining, I will go faster and faster. Obviously there's gonna be a cap. I get XP from things I mine, and the addition of, boom, getting items smelted instantly. Now, you may be thinking, well, that's not that good. Well, I'll get back to you with that then, because I'm going to go ahead and show if you put lapis on it. Because with lapis, it gives you luck. And now I have two modifiers. So let's go ahead and see. I'm only going to be able to get to luck. Oh, I'm already at luck 3. Okay, good. So, I'm at luck 3 now. Alright. Luck 3 for this pickaxe. And I'm going to go ahead and show, and to make the firewood binding, because before I thought, so to make lava wood, you literally need to cast lava on top of wood, and it makes lava wood. But I thought, I'll be able to use that. No, you need to actually craft it into firewood. You make lava wood into firewood with 2 additional blaze powders. Then you could put it inside of a one of the Tinker's tool stations, the one with the stencil table, and as long as you have the binding stencil of it, you can make it. So it works out pretty well. So if you put those, you get firewood. Now I'm not going to do it because I don't need it now. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So this is what happens when you go normally into the mines. You know, you're mining basically. So I'm going to get 2 pieces of iron ore. Put that and that, okay? With my pick, this is what happens. I mine it and you just get it. Now since I also have the excavation modifier, I get both of them. Now what happens when I use the cobalt pickaxe? It smelts it. Now, probably be a better test if I only had 1 in my inventory. Now I only got 1, okay? This is going to be one of the things that you're going to have to deal with. That, obviously, I'm going to have to decide whether I want it or not. Now, I have my system of getting my ore and pulverizing it, and I get 2 dust, which then each dust is equivalent to 1 ingot. With this, you have the possibility of, if you're lucky, only got 1 ingot, that you may get more than 1 ingot. Now, I don't know if the developer has changed it. Okay, so I only have 2 I only have 2 of them right now. Okay, it's only 1. Now, I don't know if he changed it. He or she changed it. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure. If they did change it, this is only good for early game. Because as far as I'm seeing right now, I'm getting no difference. Now, that may be just because I'm unlucky, but I'm also going to add something else. Now, go ahead in here, grab a manual block, and I'm going to grab 2 ender pearls. And I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this to something a little bit cheekier. What? Pretty sure that's the right, isn't it? Oh, it's the other way around, that's right. Well, let's see how this works then. So I'm going to go ahead and make an additional one. Now the only problem is I don't have enough. I'm going to have to go and slay some endermen in a little bit. Stick that. Now basically what the excavator does is it's not like with other mods. Pretty much all it does, we got 6 iron right now, it smelts any ore that is nearby it, that is the same ore when you're mining it, will be mined with it. So again, I only got 1 from each one. So the unfortunate part about this pick is it's only good if you want to use it early game, which, you know, you're not be able to get it that early game, because just to make a cobalt head, you're gonna have to go to the nether anyways. Or no, you need an obsidian sharpening kit. So, but the problem is, to make an obsidian sharpening kit, you're gonna need obsidian, which means you're gonna need diamonds, and then that's pretty much it, you know. And it gives you mining level, and pretty much sharpening kits in other mods, normally it's you repair stuff with it. With the sharpening kit in this one, it basically increases the mining level or such and such like that. So that's some of the problems you're going to have to deal with. But then you'll be able to go mine cobalt and you'll be able to make this. Going to the nether won't be a problem, you know. Once you get that diamond pick, and then once you get the obsidian and whatnot, you should be fine. So this pick though, I'll probably fix it up a little bit more, see how much well it can do, but at the moment I'm going to put it away. I'm not going to need it. So we're going to go ahead and finish up some of the last things before this episode ends. And we're going to go ahead and do the garden cloche, or however you want to say that. Now, this is going to be pretty good with me, because at the moment, I'm going to be switching. Now, if you remember last episode, I've been using fish traps to gather fish. And basically what I'm doing is that's another source of me obtaining food. Food that I would be able to make into EMC, or not EMC, but into power generation, since with the culinary generators. The problem is, it's not that I'm not catching enough fish. The problem being is I'm not having enough this certain item to craft the fish bait. Now, this is pretty meaningless to most people. Fish bait, though, takes 3 string and a certain fish. Now, you could turn all these fish, whichever that you catch in the fish ones, you can turn them into normal raw fish, this fish. They all have recipes to turn them in. Now, not all of them, though. So, like, a clam or something like that can't be turned into a fish. You gotta cook those in a different way. But what ends up happening is then I'm able to make bait. Now, I learned that what I could do is I could take this raw fish and I could just turn it into straight up 4 fish trap baits. But if you go ahead and make a grinder, you can actually get 2 ground fish, and each ground fish can be used to make 1 bait. So fundamentally, you're basically making 1 fish into 4 bait, but then you could grind it up and make 1 fish into 2 ground fish into 8 bait. That's what I'm trying to do. Now, where am I getting at with the garden cloche or whatever? What I'm getting at is this. I need string. String, to make it, I need 3 string in order for me to get anything done. Which kind of raises the question, well, what am I going to need? Well, obviously I'm going to need a mob system. That's going to be one of the first things, because I need that done. The other thing is, there are flax seeds. So with this garden cloche, or however, I'm probably saying it wrong, people are cringing every time I say it, I'm going to have to make it, but the problem is I'm going to need to give it water and power. So, that's pretty much what it is. It requires 4 glass, a hardened watering can, which I had it crafted before. You need a basic watering can, 2 Invar, 3 bone meal, and a redstone. And then the basic watering can is simple. It is just 4 copper ingots and an empowered void crystal. And an empowered void crystal is made from a void crystal that is put in the empower with charcoal, flint, stone, and an ink sac. Each one of those just one. And you empower it, but the void crystal is made from putting charcoal through an atomic reconstructor. And then boom, goes the dynamite. So then you also need 2 steel mechanical components, but you need, each one of these require 4 steel and 1 copper, so you're going to need 8 steel and 2 copper just to make one, or just to make the 2. Then you need an advanced machine frame, which requires 1 basic machine frame, which needs to put a block of reinforced iron, which remember you need to have steam and an EFAB. You need to put 9 ingots of iron ingots into an EFAB with steam, and you could craft it into the reinforced iron, and then you need to make it into a block, and then you need to have a metal press mold plate, put it on there, makes the machine frame. And then you also need 2 advanced alloy plates, which require advanced alloy ingot, which can be a combination of refined iron, bronze ingot, tin ingot, brass, stuff like that. It is expensive and very tedious. And then the carbon plate, nothing too bad. It's just carbon fiber, which is pulverized coal, which you could just put in your crusher or quartz grindstone. If you have a weak hand, don't worry, if you use the quartz grindstone, you will have a nice beefy arm afterwards. So, go ahead and make it. Boom. Garden cloche, or however you say it. So, as far as I know with this machine, I also get 32 fertilizer. I've seen this before. I've never messed with it, though. I'm starting to run out of areas where I'm going to put stuff. So, just going to place it right here. So, power goes here. Has a little light. Or no, power could probably go up here, too, I bet. Yes, power can go up here. But the problem is going to be... Nope, wrong one again. Is I do need to... It's getting power, but the problem is I also need to place water inside of it. So, the nice part about these water cells is... Can I not? Oh. Oh no. I made a big mistake. So yes, you do need to pump the water in. You can't just place it with a empty cell or anything like that, from what I thought. And eventually I'm going to switch up these gosh darn torches into other things. So I think this is one of the regions, maybe? I don't know which one requires the input of water on which side. I'm going to guess it's probably this one. So, let's see if I could go ahead and grab a tank. I don't know if I have any tanks, though. I do. Okay. What about a water... No, liquid... No, I don't have one. Alright, well, let's see if this pipe's in it. If I just place it there. Probably not. I don't think it does. No, but basically what ends up happening is you put a seed in here, and it just grows it. That's basically all it does. You just place a seed, and it grows the seed. Now, I'm trying to think. I'm going to go ahead and just borrow one of these. It's just I don't have the resources at the moment just to make it, because well, I just don't. So, let's go ahead and check this out. Let's go ahead and check it out. Okay. No. There we go. But then the issue is this tank. When you destroy the tank, that one certain tank, it does destroy the, it just gets rid of the water that's in it. So, let me just fill this up. I don't really have a seed, but I'm pretty sure I have hemp seeds. There we go. Okay. And then I could add the fertilizer into it. Did I claim it? I did. Let's stick it there. Add in the fertilizer. And a missing texture. So as you can see, it is basically just the hemp seeds that are growing. And as you can see, it is getting a little... Did it get larger for a second? Looked like it did. Look, it kind of did. And all it does is it just grows it. It just grows it. And over a certain amount of time, it's not going to be instant or anything, but it slowly grows it. Now, talking about actually a water solution, I should have actually done this to go along with it, is a pump. Now, this pump, pretty much all it is it's just a telepump. Range pump uses RF to pump fluids from underneath it to any connected tanks. It has a range of 64 blocks in each direction and replaces the fluids pumped with stone. Kinda weird. Requires 4 obsidian, 2 diamond pickaxes, which remember you need the EFAB for, a water bucket, a lava bucket, and an advanced machine frame, which we just went over, and you get to keep the buckets. Nice. It's one of the problems. I always have to make so many buckets, and I get 8 lava cans. Lava cans I think kind of useless to me because, to be honest, well, I think they just get destroyed once you use it. So, telepump. The only problem is you do need power for it. And to be honest, I think this is just a useless thing I'm just going to make, and I'm just going to go right here and pop it back in the computer, and that is really it for that. I don't think I'm ever going to use that thing. Maybe yes, maybe no. Don't really know. So let's go ahead over here. Let's check everything out. Nice. So I got a little bit more titanium. Just a little bit. Not a whole lot. Let's toss everything in there. I do have quite a bit of aluminum now. And let's go ahead and check out the rest of our titanium as we're kind of wrapping it up. So as this is kind of going, let's just see. I don't think it unlocked anything, but the titanium is going to be big. Like I said before, nothing's the matter now that I have the matter fabricator. The matter fabricator creates UU matter, which can be used to craft many items. The matter fabricator uses a large amount of RF, but also requires scrap to run. Oh, really? Scrap. Oh my. And this is also something I thought of too, because as I've been thinking about, I'm going to need a mob spawner with scrap. If I'm going to need scrap, because it doesn't really say. It's one of the problems that I dislike about this mod. It doesn't really exactly say much. It doesn't say how scrap is made, but I know that one of these machines, the recycler, when you stick stuff into the recycler and then a loot crate, and pork chop, okay? I know that in this recycler you can stick items and then they could potentially give you scrap. The problem is you need a lot of it, so let's just check out something. I have a lot of arrows, as we could see. As you could see. Give myself a stack. I'm going to go ahead and stick 32 into it. Okay, so it does take a little bit, but as you can see, arrows do work. Now, this is my plan. I'm going to go ahead and make a mob farm, and pretty much what I'm going to use with the mob farm is I'm going to make it so then all these items are going to go into storage drawers, such as the arrows and bones. Bones I could use to fertilize since I need tons of string, and I could do that manually for a while, and such and such and such. But now that I know that arrows can be used to make scrap, and machines now apparently need to be run with scrap or something, yeah, I could go ahead and do that. But instead of being, saving this up, I'm going to go ahead and make a loot one, and this will pretty much be brown stained glass. How nice. But also, some of the things I did like about an idea of making a... One moment. Huh. I had an idea for it, but it seems that my idea may have just gone up into dust, in a way. But now that I know it can use to make scrap, it would be pretty good to have a couple areas just for a mob farm. So, We're pretty much gonna be ending it there. I know nothing too special happened. I showed off basically as things are going. Next episode, I'm going to be trying a little bit of a different range of kind of showing an episode of my day to day thing. The problem is, this is not an interesting series. Now, I'm not saying I can't make it interesting. I can make it interesting. I'm just saying that the problem is the pace at which this is going. You're not going to see me make huge advancements in 5 minutes. You're going to see me literally going back and forth, putting nothing but iron ore into these EFABs just to make certain metals and things like that. And honestly, it's a bore. It's a bore fest. I'm not going to lie. A lot of times I'm just sitting here with my, to be honest, I'm just listening to music. That's really it, and no one wants to see that. So maybe in the future, maybe soon, if I get enough responses for it, I may start a new series on another mod pack and try out some things there. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be replacing this one. I definitely want to try to get through this mod pack. This is a nice, fun challenge for me because a lot of times I'm in a very simple, easygoing kind of mods. And to be honest, I wouldn't mind. It's weird, it's not really growing. Maybe it needs more power. Maybe it does need the fertilizer. Yeah, so I would like to definitely. This is definitely challenging, but I wouldn't mind having something a little bit more laid back as well. So, I'd like to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe one day, as time goes on, probably not for a while, but if this series is still going on for a while, which I could definitely end up seeing, maybe might be some points of just live streaming. If you guys like that, maybe an hour or two just live streaming every other week or so. I could show some of my process. I could maybe answer some questions if anybody wants to. But until then, there's still the comments down below. I check them quite regularly. And, if you have any questions, go ahead and post them down there. Hopefully I'll be able to answer some questions. And, if we end up doing a live stream one day, I would definitely love to talk and, answer some of your guys' questions. So, thank you for watching, and everybody have a good day. Goodbye.